What's going on, you guys? So this weekend we have another unification fight, an undisputed fight between Jermell, Charlo, and Brian Castaño. The rematch is going down. Hit that like button for your boy. Give me that HBO special. That's to help a brother out special. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers. But Jermell, Charlo, and Brian Castaño, the rematch is going down this weekend. And the first fight was a draw. A lot of fans felt that Brian Castaño won the fight. A small majority of fans felt that Charlo deserved the fight, but nonetheless, the fight ended in a draw. Now going into the fight this weekend, fans don't know who gonna win this fight. But like I told you guys before, Brian Castaño is not to be overlooked. He is not somebody that should be underestimated. And don't be surprised if he pull off an upset. This was in July, the July of when they fought, right? I was telling fans, don't be sleep on Brian Castaño. These Argentinian fighters, they come to fight. They come to win. They're not playing no games out here. Sure enough, the fight looked kind of funny, right? The fight looked like Brian Castaño was getting the upper hand on Jermell Charlo majority of that fight. Charlo had his moments as well. But the fight ended in a draw. And it was going to be almost impossible for Brian Castaño to beat Jermell Charlo in Texas. Now the next fight, the rematch, is going down in Carson, California. Should be interesting to see how this thing plays out. But what if Brian Castaño beats Jermell Charlo? This changes things for the division. We've been seeing some strange things happen in boxing. With Canelo getting knocked off, right? Some strange things can happen in boxing. This is why I do these what if videos. What if Brian Castaño beats Jermell Charlo? What does this leave guys like Terrence Crawford, who was looking to face Jermell Charlo if he's successful against Errol Spence Jr.? Will Crawford be looking to fight Brian Castaño? Will Errol Spence be looking to fight Brian Castaño, who has a victory over him in the amateurs, who also says he dropped Errol Spence Jr.? Of course, Errol Spence denies it, but this is what Brian Castaño said it happened. What if Brian Castaño beats Jermell Charlo and then we looking at a fight between Fundora and Castaño? How would that look? One of the shortest guys in the division against the tallest guy in the division. What if Castaño beats Charlo? But Jermell Charlo looks to be very prepared going into this fight. He's looking strong going into this fight. And I'm sure they're going to correct whatever mistakes they made in the first fight. Jermell Charlo seems to have problems with output at times, right? It seemed like the big problem for him in the first fight was the output issue. He seems to think a lot in there. Like he's thinking too much in there to where he seems to be somewhat hesitant, right? But when Jermell Charlo lets him go, he lets him go. As we all know, right? When he lets him go, he lets him go. But in this fight with Brian Castaño, he knows what he's up against now, right? He's going to take this guy very seriously going into this rematch. He said somebody's going to cry. He said somebody's going to cry in this fight against Brian Castaño this weekend. And he said it's not going to be him. Jermell Charlo also been at that weight for quite some time. I'm not sure how many more years Jermell Charlo has as a 154-pounder. Brian Castaño said he's a very powerful guy. And he said going into this rematch, he's going to be a lot more careful. He said it's going to be a clash of power like it was the first time. But he's going to be a lot more careful going into the fight this time because he felt Jermell Charlo's power. And he said that's something that he definitely did have. But what if Brian Castaño beats Jermell Charlo this weekend? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.